Well, well. Good morning. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Tanya. So, yes, good morning. All right. So, yeah, well, welcome to Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. Thank you so much for being here on this Memorial Day weekend. Hello, Sharon. Good morning. Elizabeth. Good morning. Debbie. Good morning. Hello. Yes, like I just said. Hello, Nicole. Yep, Memorial Day weekend. Good morning, Margaret. And Carrie, good morning. Nice, bright and shiny. Look at this. Got lots of people waking up early. I've started a trend, right? Thank you, Nicole. Tried to keep it out of the way today. It just needs to, you know, keep it a little bit more together, you know. But yeah, no, like I said, yep, Memorial Day weekend. You definitely want to make sure that we talk about that for just a second. So, those of us in the States, because I know Nicole's not here, we're celebrating Memorial's Day on Monday. So we want to wish all our veterans, past and present, thank you so much for your services, and means a lot. And we're able to continue to do the things we do because of all of you that have served. So thank you so much. And so, yeah, so it's a long weekend. So I definitely, cannot, you know, sit or, there's so many things going on this weekend. So it's kind of like, it's not so much chaos. It's just organized craziness. I guess it still means the same thing, right? So, um, well, thank you, Rachel. um, Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a packed weekend, and we're going to talk about a couple of those things. So I keep looking over at my notes. Some of them I try to write down on my phone. Some of them I put on the other screen. So it just all depends on what I got going on and where I'm trying to be prepared at. So it's okay. It's okay. So, but yeah, we're it's exciting to be back again. Hey, Jen. Good morning. Hello, Dad. So yes, we're like I said, exciting weekend. So yeah, again, one more time, for those here in the States, happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all the veterans. We appreciate what you've done. So definitely, it's definitely a weekend to reflect, especially even on Monday, the actual Memorial Day. So we are thinking of you, and yeah, I appreciate that. And other than that, the weekend, like I said, is pretty packed. I mean, today, I'll be spending the majority of the day doing all kinds of house stuff because in preparation for a birthday party tomorrow, which is sort of a twofer birthday party. Hey, Bonnie, good morning. We're my kids' birthdays are actually Sunday and Tuesday, so we just worked it out to where tomorrow worked best for family to come over and things. So we are getting to get the house ready today, and then we'll have family over tomorrow. So we'll be able to celebrate both of them, even though it's more on my son's side. But that's the way it rolls. Sometimes you just never know. But it is really cool that we get to kind of knock it all out in one shot too. But we're still gonna have some fun and things like that. So yeah, today be a little chaotic at home and getting things set up and cleaned and all the stuff they typically would do anyway. But this time, you kind of have to make sure you go a little bit more. So yes, it does include you, whoever you are. But yeah, so that's going to be exciting. But yeah, my kids' birthdays, like I said, are Sunday and Tuesday. And I got an 11-year or about to be an 11-year-old tomorrow and a 14-year-old on Tuesday. So which is really cool because they both finished school this past week. My daughter graduated 8th grade, and so now she is moving on to be a freshman in high school. So that's kind of interesting. Amazing to think how long it's been, and now she's in a way entering what could be the last 4 years of school. Not that she's not going to go on to college or something, but it's that point of you're still a kid sort of, and you're working towards becoming a full on adult, not that any of us really are, right. And so we're you know we're still trying to be adults, at least some of us. But you never know. You never know. But yeah, so it's exciting to have that. And then my son just finished fourth grade, so he's moving on to the middle school. So he'll go a couple years, 2 years in a middle school, and then he'll go to the junior high for a couple more years, and then he'll finally be in high school. So he's got a little bit to go, but that's okay. Hey, Dinah, good morning. So yeah, so pretty cool that I got two kids that have wrapped up one set of schools, and now they're going to the next set of schools. So it's kind of cool to have that experience, because that after this point, yeah, I mean, my son will only have, one more. Well, he's got still a couple more, but my daughter's, that's it. After that, it's college. So, right, Rachel. Exactly. Yep. So, yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, yeah. So that's like you said, that's the kind of the fun stuff going on this weekend. And then Monday, again for Memorial's Day, which is kind of cool. It's been a while, but I was a band person, many years ago. I mean, I still obviously do music and stuff now, but I was in the marching band, and that was one of the cool things about when you were junior high. You got to, even though back then the band was smaller, but nowadays, the school system is so big where I live that they just have so many to partake in bands. So the typically or right now the junior high students, even though most half of them are graduated moving on, but the junior high is still getting together for one more parade, and so they'll be marching. So I'm going to be helping out with that and being a chaperone. So it'd be kind of cool. I haven't been to a parade in a while, because we've also had some other issues out in the world that's kind of prevented things like that. But it will be cool to be a part of a parade again. It's been a while, because last time I did it, I was reenacting a World War II soldier. So I mean, I was seeing this week of I use a time hop app that bounces back through your photos and things and finds things from like 10 years ago. And so I found when I was still all dressed up in my World War II uniform. So that was kind of cool. And but yeah, that was the last time I did that, and I think that was like, geez, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I think it was. I think that's what the time hop was saying. So yeah, it was a long time ago. But yeah, you guys would get a I guess I could have prepared that for you guys. You guys would have had a total trip at it to see no long hair, no beard whatsoever, completely clean shaven, how it's supposed to be, So you guys would be really weirded out, for those that have never seen me without facial hair and long hair too. You guys at least don't get to see it because it's all pulled back. But yeah, it was a hoot seeing those photos again. But yeah, other than that, like I said, that'll be kind of cool to be a part of the parade again, and I get to march alongside the kids and keep an eye on them and make sure that they're hanging in there. I mean, I know the temperatures are definitely going to be warmer, but at least parade time, they're not going to be as brutal as they will be in the afternoon. So they're saying 90 degrees by the afternoon for us on Monday. So it's like, whoa. So, but at least the morning, you'll still be a little bit, decent, and not, shouldn't be too bad for the kids. It's not like they're in major, outfits marching for this stuff. So, but yeah, so the junior high will get to march, for a little bit. And then, after that, the high school has a big enough band, so they'll be marching as well. So there's a couple bands, which is cool for, the city. So you get at least a couple songs, that they'll get to play during the march. So that'll be fun. But again, it'll be neat. It's going to be neat. And like my dad said, yeah, the whole legacy thing is actually legit. I mean, I get to do some chaperoning, and it's weird. I mean, I've done some chaperoning this year already for some basketball games and stuff for the junior high kids. And so, I'll obviously continue that on. So yeah, some Friday nights are going to be a weird flashback, of, doing that stuff. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Oh, that's awesome. Good, good, good. Yep. Michelle. Yeah. If you guys don't know, Michelle does some really cool crafting and stuff like that. And she makes these, like she's writing there, memorial bears that are really cool. Michelle, drop your information where people can look you up, so that way I can throw it up on the screen in case people are interested in something like that. Yeah, throw that in there real quick for me. But yeah, I mean, we like I said, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be neat. Hey, Heather, good morning. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to for Monday, and I'm excited this fall to be a part of the band. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to do every single week, but just to still do, a few games here and there, and it'll be it's going to be weird for me. There you go. Cool. Thanks, Michelle. Yep, Tipsy's Treasures. Yeah, I haven't seen Michelle in a few years, but she posts a lot of her stuff on her pages and stuff. So if you guys are interested in cool she does great work, man. It's like, the first time I met her was at the old mill when because she's from all the way in Wisconsin, but yeah, she does some really cool stuff. So if you guys take a look at that sometime, if you guys are interested in things. So cool. But yeah, so that'll be kind of cool. I'm excited for this whole marching thing again, and just like I said, it's gonna be weird for the fact that I get to I still get to be somewhat on the field in a way, but then yet you know a part of it. So yeah, all that stuff's gonna be weird for the first couple times I chaperone. And I mean, even Monday won't be so bad because I did do sort of a chaperone once after I graduated, before my brother graduated high school. So I got to at least I did one parade, where I was helping out, but other than that, yeah, I haven't done anything other than myself being in the parade. But yeah, so it'd be cool. So yeah, again, that's kind of cool. That's the fun stuff that's going on this weekend and things. And so yeah, it'll be cool. Yeah. Yeah, it will. It will. I mean, well, and it was funny, real quickly before we move, keep moving on. Last fall, the eighth graders got to go and be at actually be a part of a halftime show, even though they weren't doing marching, but they got to be a part of the high school band. And I mean, they got to march onto the field and things, but then they just stood and played it. So they weren't actually doing a routine. But they all get to play, 3 songs and things. And so that was kind of cool, but it was weird. The weird part was, sitting in the stands watching it, and then, hearing, because again, I went to the same school system and stuff. So I graduated from this city, and hearing, the fight song, the song that I played, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, for 4 years. And so, hearing the fight song again, after so many years, that really like brought back a ton of memories, just the amount of time playing. So, hey, Donna, good morning. And so yeah, the fight song was that was crazy to hear. I mean, because it just brought back all those years from long ago, but so it'll be cool to hear it again, as the season moves on when we get to the fall. But so that's kind of the cool fun stuff that's going on this weekend and things. So I do have one fun story. So we're gonna shift gears. Now my father is going to enjoy this one because I already know because he has no idea what I'm about to say. None of you do, obviously, because this just happened a couple days ago. This is, and I know the comments, at least my father's going to make. The rest of you might have fun with this, so it'll be interesting to see what you guys think. So some of you will probably be doing the O face, like, oh my God, and then others will probably start cracking jokes. So, hey, whatever, but I have to keep this as PG related as I possibly can. So, and Kelly, this falls in, well, ooh, I'd be careful. I almost said that wrong, Kelly, because what you're about to hear, that would sound like, see, I was going to say, Kelly, this falls into your realm too, but see, remember I just said that. And then when you hear what, what just happened, you're gonna be like, yeah, that was wrong, dude. So you guys are gonna get a hoot. You can see I'm turning red because this is, and I'm not afraid to share this. Again, I'm going to give you the PG version of this because obviously I don't want to get in trouble, but at the same time, I don't want to, offend anybody too. But that's why I'm going to keep it as clean as possible. So because it needs to be clean. So, a little backstory real quickly. And by the way, I'll just say this real quick so you guys know where we're shifting to. This is a paranormal related, so that helps you out there. Okay. So no, you're not getting the other version because I would be using, key words, and you'll get that here shortly. But so this is paranormal related. So at work, like you see, I've talked about it a little bit, but I've been losing weight, and so one of the things I do by the time I get to work, I always get there early, because again, I have an hour and 10-minute drive, and so it's you will, Jen, You will. Um, so I get there early because I pad because of it could be accidents, construction, weather when we do have bad weather, obviously, which we thank God the snow and ice is out of our picture from now on. But even thunderstorms, whatever, anything. So I get to work early, and now because I'm trying to continue with losing weight because I still have a ways to go, but I'm about in the midway point of where I want to be. So I'm halfway there. uh I try to do a big, speed walk, an intense walk, something that, you're really, you're getting your heart rate up, but you're also, moving. You're not just casually walking and strolling through the hallways and stuff. But so I'm moving quite quickly. And so it would look like a speed walk if you saw me, in the morning. If you see me going by a window, you'd be like, dang, where's he in a hurry to? So, uh, but that's the whole thing is I'm always, so I do that. And, in the building I'm in, which is, where I've been reassigned to, after we, were booted when the pandemic started. So now that I've been back again, it's a gigantic building. And so walking, creating a lap or just walking the building in general, like you really get your steps in. And it's not see, as long I have to make some effort into it, but when I make the effort into it, it is not uncommon for me to go home with 12,000 to 18,000 steps per day, not a week, per day. So, because there's been a couple times where I've easy been at 18,000 steps. I mean, and for those that, have ever done walking and have tracked, how far you have to go to achieve those kind of numbers. So, like I said, I, try to get in anywhere because it depends on my schedule too. But if I have the time to do it, I get at least 30 minutes, but I try for always 45. And then if I don't have anything, right at 6 o'clock, then I'm doing, I try to get closer to that, 50 to an hour mark of walking. So that really sets me up. So in case I get busy throughout the rest of the day, last minute stuff, I at least got a good amount of walking in that, counts towards, my exercise, minutes for the day. So, so, you know, this week, just like anything, it's normal for me. So I'm doing my walk. I think it was Wednesday, and I was walking, no big deal. And this is I don't put headphones on because sometimes people, once in a blue moon, somebody will see me, which is rare to be that early. But sometimes people will see me and they're, hey, I got a question or something. So I don't. I'm just lost in my thoughts. So I was walking and I wasn't thinking of anything because the content that I'm getting to, you're going to be like, oh yeah, no. I was just thinking about some random stuff. It wasn't anything crazy, because so you would think that that would segue into what the encounter was. But one of the things that happens a lot, especially when these walks, now, yes, I'm walking very fast. However, what I'm noticing a lot of times is I'm seeing shadow figures and I'm seeing apparitions, and I'm talking full on clothing, I mean, like you're getting details. And it's crazy because like I'm walking and I can see somebody and I look over, and by the time I get full eyes on them, they basically disappear, which is common, for any of us investigators out there. But so I'm constantly seeing this stuff. So I don't know if because when I first started doing the walks and stuff again and getting serious on the weight loss stuff, I wasn't noticing them as much. Now, again, I'm not technically, I'm at work. I'm not really trying to see things. I'm not trying to connect with things because I'm at work. My focus is work, and other than, yes, I'm walking and stuff. And so that's on my, own time. However, there is work being done because when I'm walking by rooms, I'm looking at the equipment and seeing if there's any weird messages on the screens, which is key. Cause like if I see air, then I'll stop, but I am looking. So, I mean, and then there's other open areas that they've done so that way people could be, socially distanced and stuff. Where there's these, I'm not going to give you guys names because it'll confuse you guys, but there's these systems that are there to be used. And those are always on and lit up so I can see if they're working or not. But it gives me a chance to walk around and check these things out as I do this. So, and if I saw an issue, I'd stop and fix it, But so I mean, I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. So like I said, I'm focused on whatever my thoughts are, whatever, whether it's thinking about a show or something like that, but I'm focused, and I'm not thinking crazy things and stuff. And like I said, I'm seeing things. I'm like, okay, this is, it's cool. Now, granted, I'm not not notice anything coming up. You know what I mean? Like as far as like they're trying to like chase me down or something like that or whatever. I mean, I'm walking, so it's just that tunnel vision, whatever. So Wednesday, I'm walking, and like I said, you're walking pretty fast. So you mean, you're moving, and stuff. And at one point, again, this is the PG version. Um, Something didn't see what something was, but something decided to touch me inappropriately. And it was pretty clear. I mean, as clear as it could be. It wasn't just like, kind of poke you in the shoulder. No, it was a full-on grab. And let's just say it was below my waist, and that's as far as PG as I can put it, but it was unmistakable. Now, as I'm like, I'm okay, I'm walking fast. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm looking down thinking, what hit me? Because that's my first like indication, like something hit me. Now, again, I'm walking quickly. So, I got a cell phone pouch that's got both my work and personal phones on it. So I'm like making sure nothing's swinging over, and anything I had was exactly, Jen. I'm making sure, because as I'm walking fast, I'm now trying to debunk this too. I'm thinking, did something swing over? Did something hit me? I'm like, what the hell happened? Yeah, Tom, yeah, I know. So this is why I said I knew the comments were going to start rolling in. But I'm talking full on grab. Like this isn't just like, no. For about a good, half second, it was like, I'm like, looking at what is going on. And I'm like, and like I said, I wasn't thinking of something in that neighborhood because I'm at work. Why would I? But I'm like, why did they want that? Why did they want to get? I don't know. Because now was it? See, that's the thing is I was walking, so I wasn't trying to, um, it wasn't like I was upset about anything or I wasn't feeling anything negative. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I probably should, Debbie. But logically, I've been trying to think what was going on, but like I said, I wasn't thinking anything, like bad stuff. So the fact that because we could do that, you could, like lack for a better, you can watch a horror movie and then have bad dreams overnight. It's just that subjective kind of thing that you've just forced yourself into a situation. So I know, Kelly, that's what I'm worried. I'm saying I'm worried about this right now. So, but it just told now that's the one area I've never have had anything ever happen. Now I've been goosed a little bit, in the rear. I mean, I gotten like, whoa, hey, what's going on? Like they were trying to get my attention. No, they weren't doing anything else. Believe me, it was in a cheek. It wasn't anywhere between the lines, if you know what I'm saying. But that's the only other thing that's been kind of in the ballpark, but and I've, talked to some female investigators and even some that are on my, the team that I'm on Swippy. They've had, their chest grabbed and things. And I'm like, woo. And I'm like, well, I've never had that, my stuff all messed with. So, I mean, can't say it'll never happen, but hey, you, but I guess, it's so weird when you're not expecting something, which is classic, especially for mediums. I mean, you don't want to expect something. So then boom, there, it's like, whoa, hey, so it was, you're close, Kelly. I knew what you meant. Donna, I don't know. I'm going back reading a few new, I don't know. Margaret, it could be, but see, and I'll continue. So yeah. Are you paying attention to the flashes? I, Well, Carrie, no, there wasn't any flashes at that moment. Yeah, you were grabbed in the bits. Oh no, I mean, well, Jen, it grabbed my other half. You know what I mean? He was full on grabbed. No mistaken. He was felt up. Let's just put. I mean, in a half a second. I mean, I mean, like I say, you can't mistake when something, messes with you when you're not, if it's not you grabbing yourself, you know what that feels like. But when something else grabs you, it's like, whoa. And so, yeah, like I said, it got my attention real quick. And yet I did not break a stride. I kept walking, but, you know, because I wasn't expecting it. I mean, I probably should have stopped on a dime. Oh, I am, Margaret. Don't get me wrong. Trying to keep this as clean as possible. But uh you don't expect something like that. Oh yeah. um but it just, yeah, I mean, and not now, I've walked through the same area. I walked through the same area multiple times a day. Yesterday I didn't get to as much, but I got a couple times in. But I've been walked through the same area. I haven't felt anything. you know I exactly, Cal. Kelly, I just kept moving. Yeah. I just kept working it through. But yeah, so but that's the thing, is like, I don't know if I should go to this area, which is, I mean, it's a big zone where cubes are, where people sit, where they could be sitting, but they're not. So it's just completely open, empty cubes. And I could easily, walk over there, but it's like, do I want to? I don't know. That's the dilemma, because again, I'm at work. I've had plenty of experiences at work, and I've done little bits of, tapping into things, but it's, I don't want to, that's all I do there, because obviously if I get, called to go and do, have a job or whatever, then I got to roll, so it's hard for me to kind of to do this, even though, we're not slammed with work, but it can always happen at a moment's notice. So, it's tough. And I don't know. I still don't know exactly what they were trying to get my attention with. Was it just to slow me down because I was walking and doing my normal thing? Was it, who knows? I mean, right. And Jen, it certainly could have. I mean, it easily could have triggered. And Jesus. But to get my attention, to pay attention, because like I said, especially in the zones, there's three zones that are, two of them are really small and one's really big, and in between them, oh Jesus, that was really horrible too. That was a bad way to describe that. Woo! Oh my God, Jen. That's going up. Easy, Jen. I said this. We got to keep this PG. Yeah, Joe. Woo! Damn, Jen. Oh man. Yeah, Joe, I'm telling you, dude. Stuff like that. Hey, Carrie Ann. But yeah, I mean, just, like I said, I've had a lot of experiences being messed with, being having my guy messed with. That's never happened. So that was a first for me. When I thought about this, then, for that day and ever since, it's like, geez, what's next, man? And Kelly kind of put it up earlier. It's like, well, we're getting into like succubuses and stuff. The 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 creatures that go after men. I'm like, oh boy. And so, not really wanting to find out, so I'm not putting that out there. But it's interesting to, but it's fascinating. I mean, it is. It's fascinating for the research side of it, because again, I'm not used to it. You know what I mean? And so that's not me. But I mean, it happens. So it's just another one of those experiences that I can't figure it out, and it happened because it got my attention clearly. So you know what, Dad, I couldn't even, like, it was, again, I was so tunnel vision, it shouldn't have. All right, Sharon, have a good weekend. Have a great Memorial Day. But yeah, like I said, you just, when those things happen, they happen. And that was just a little bit more hello for sure. But okay, Jen, have a good session. But I do want to highlight, so I wanted to segue real quickly before we kind of hit some stuff, because there's this will segue a little bit into the kind of the topic I wanted to touch on. So and I obviously can't give a lot of details and things like that, but I like to kind of highlight some of the stuff that when I do have sessions of my own, I like to highlight little bits and pieces of it, obviously as little information as I can, so that way I'm not giving anything away. But last Saturday, to be specific, I had a reading for some family, and it went really well. And I kind of I think I briefly posted about it. I think I did. But again, I can't say who, I can't say, what, specifics and things, but just again, keep it confidential as much as possible. But again, I got to do some stuff for some family. It was a good session. The one thing I do want to, well, there's a couple little things, but the one thing that impressed me the most, and those that know of mediums, those of you that have some mediumship abilities, maybe you're still discovering them, or some of you do them, especially anybody that's maybe watching this show back later on. um, you know we do we typically can do anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour worth of readings. Well, in a session. So that's how we book ourselves. If you want something kind of quick, if you want something a little bit longer, and then if you want like a big full legit full hour type of thing. And um those are the options. The reading Saturday ended up going, I think we hit 91 minutes, 93 minutes, and which is pretty rare for any spirit of any sort to hang in there as long as this one did. I've never heard of it. I'm not saying it hasn't, but I've never heard anybody going any longer than an hour, because typically at an hour it's the spirit's really struggling to, they've already given so much information, they've already, they're using what energy they do have. And then they get weak. I mean, it's just like we do. We, luckily for us, I mean, we have a couple different levels of how we store our energy. We have a physical body and we have a spiritual body. And we have to eat to keep the physical side of it going. And then obviously if you're well rested and things like that, you start looking into your spiritual side of things, and you're able to hang in there. And so we got a couple things, whereas they just only have the spiritual side, so they can't really eat per se. Well, Margaret, I mean, he's usually kind of still died out by the hour mark. He hasn't really gone too much longer than that. This is crazy. So yeah, yeah, and that's cool, Carrie. Yeah, but like I said, for one spirit to hang in there for over 90 minutes, I was impressed. And and the cool thing was, like I do, and some of you that have had readings from me, it's not just wall to wall. They were just constantly giving the messages out there. It's um what I try to do is, I try to get some information and we kind of dive into it a little bit, because what that does is it also gives the spirit a little bit time to, not waste everything real quickly, and then kind of that maybe cut the session down a little bit shorter. But it also allows the spirit to maybe jump in a little bit more, maybe give me some more information, because especially, I don't audibly always hear them talking, so they have to show me pictures or a video clip type of thing. So for me, you spit out what they showed you, and then you kind of highlight where you feel that their energy is kind of reflecting on, because picture a movie, whatever, there's so many different ways you can assume things, and that's why, like, it's tough when we all write messages or we type messages out. We don't know what the tone technically is. And so, I mean, I could write you a nasty message, but yet do it from a loving way, but yet you'll take it as one thing, but I meant it another, and then you're gonna so that's what's difficult, is just understanding what their true intentions, when you can't hear a tone of voice. So I have to go on what they're showing me, what, by feeling it too. You can definitely tell if somebody's giving you a loving message. You feel good, you feel uplifted. Whereas they're giving you something sad, you kind of feel like you're kind of pulling back a little bit, you're sunken in your chair or whatever. So, but again, there's just back and forth that goes on. And so to be able to last as long as they did, it blew my mind, which is great. I mean, like I said, you never know. But this particular spirit was ready to in a way, in a way reunite with family, because it's been a while. I mean, and again, I can't give any other details, of that aspect, but it's been a while. But it was cool because this particular spirit was, or even visiting the day before, which can and can't sometimes happens, sometimes doesn't, but most of the times it doesn't for me because I like to wait until the day of. But even then, the day before, dropping me some messages, and then even on the way to the home where I was going to, gave me another message. So I'm like, it can't get any more like ready to go. I mean, just literally it was like a horse at the starting gate. We're just waiting for those gates to open up and bang. So uh it was, I mean, so it's great because when they are ready like that, it's those the stuff can start flowing. And that's tough when they're not ready because obviously I've had readings before and it's gotten better. But some of the earliest stuff I ever did, the spirits, they had a little trouble with me, and I get it. They don't know me. The majority don't know who I am. So for them to finally get used to saying, "Oh, hey, okay, yeah, you can see and understand." So then they usually open up because I've had it where I've scheduled it. They showed up. I could see them, describe them exactly what they looked like. They're like, "Yes, that's this person. This is the person I wanted to connect with." And they said nothing. Just stood there, just kept a straight face and didn't do nothing. And I just would be like, we were trying and trying, 5, 10, 15 minutes, just trying to get something, nothing. And I said, I'll tell you what, let's do this, in a week. Let's give them time. They know who I am now. They know that, it's we can do this. And so sure enough, the next time we basically reschedule, then they're talking. So it's, just like in life, it's hard to walk up to everybody and you know, strike up a conversation. Some people can do it, some can't. And so I'm not going to be, hey, Della. And, the, the whole point of, I'm not going to force them if they're not ready to speak yet. That's fine. But, at the same time, you hope, but, I always throw that disclaimer out there, you never know. And even then we could say it's going to be an hour, but then it doesn't, and so we try for things, and again, that's my bad word. I usually don't like to say try, but we certainly do what we can to have those messages come through and be able to provide them to everybody that's looking for them. So, and again, I'm not a stickler about things as far as that goes. I mean, if we only get a few minutes, we get a few minutes, and then we'll just do it again. So it's not like it's the end of the world. We can make it happen again, and we'll just keep trying until they provide some stuff. Hey, Kim, good morning. And yeah, so that was kind of cool. But there was a couple other things, and I was hoping that I was going to be able to touch on one other exciting moment during that reading. Now there was lots, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of special moments, and some of them I really really can't talk about as much as I would love to, but I can't. And don't get me wrong, I can't hide the fact that there was some emotional moments, which is typical. It does happen. And even for me, again, being somewhat, I know them, and I knew the spirit in question a little bit. I didn't know a lot of details. I mean, met them, met them, a handful of times, that sort of thing, but never ever had like true conversations. It was always just small little things, little chit chats and stuff, but nothing long to, long. And so but it was good. And but a lot of cool things that came in. Hey, Denise, good morning. Let's see. Wait. Dinah, it is every spirit that wants to come through, that we ask to come through, it varies. And that's, I do, I enjoy the fact that you just don't know. And because that's what us mediums are. We just don't want expectations. I don't want to say this reading is going to be fantastic. I want to be able to make that comment after it's over with, being like, that wasn't bad, or that was really good. When you do mediumship stuff, you have to push that stuff clear away. I can't be thinking that. I can't. It just can't happen. We have to sit there and completely closed off to any expectations, because that's all it does. Hey, Angela, good morning. And I just can't, I can't involve myself in expecting anything. So when you've completely pushed that out, that's when the messages come in. They get so much more clear, because that's the part of the whole process. It's learning how to shut your mind down, so that way when it happens, it's just like it's there. Because when your mind is blank, which a lot of you might realize, you can't go a few minutes without something popping in there. I get that. It happens to me too. But when I'm focused on a reading or I'm doing an investigation, and that's it, everything else in the world is out the door. I mean, I don't care about anything else, because at that point I'm really focused on stuff, meaning I'm blank. So I want whatever needs to happen or come through or shared, whatever the case is. Then when they pop in there and they're sending me the message or make me feel things, boom, that's it. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But the one thing that I'm hoping I'll be able to share, because I think it's monumental for all of us, and I'm talking to the level of the human race, our understanding of certain things. And there was some stuff that happened that blew my mind away. I never have seen anything like it. I've never technically heard of anything like it. But the stuff I got to see was completely mind blowing, and it was potentially, you know, this could help everybody out, in my opinion. Now, unfortunately, uh, some other things that I was going to try to get. I was trying to dig for more information, which there is hardly any. I had one friend that had a little bit of information, which really did help, and um, and even then, it was still little. But what was neat was it it definitely showed that what I was shown, that some information finally came out that it's important. It's truly important, and it'll be neat to see what happens, because I'm trying to do a follow up, not necessarily with the spirit that I did and for the family that I did a reading for. I'm kind of going in a different direction to see if I can get some more information, which would be good and helpful. It's possible, this could be another area for me to dive down and research. And granted, I'm still trying to write my first book. This is If I can get some more information about this, and uh, whether I get every detail, but it's just the point of an FYI. I think that's probably about the best thing for us. This could really, now you're just still going to get the people out there. They're going to be like, that's all nonsense, whatever. But I get it. But a lot of us that, are into things, it's going to be helpful for us humans here on Earth right now. So I, am really excited. There's a couple things that I need to do personally to find this. But again, I had some things going on in the beginning of the week that altered a lot of stuff for me, and so I just didn't. I wasn't able to get enough of it down. But I'm I'm really thrilled and excited to dive down this. Not that I don't have enough things going on, but sometimes when they pop up, you got to take the opportunity to run with it. So, um, my hope is that I will be able to announce some things, or at least share a little bit more about it. Of course, I'm going to eliminate details of what I did see from the that I'm not going to mention. Who was showing me this, and or doing that or whatever. I'm not gonna say that stuff. So I will make it a little bit more myself in a way. I guess that's probably a good way to put it. But yeah, it's just, again, to be able to see it like I did, that's huge. So so I will definitely share it as soon as I can. I got to get through this weekend, and probably most of next week, with the kids' birthdays and stuff Sunday and Tuesday, and the parties tomorrow. And so, yeah, this weekend's loaded, so I will not have time to really sit down and focus. But I'm gonna be checking into it a little bit more, and if I can do this, then you guys will love it. So, let's see, Della, we can talk offline about that. Okay, hit me up personally, and then we can talk. Um, So I know I did kind of run out of time. However, um, part of the, what I wanted to do, and I always try to do this too, is, I wanted to talk briefly about, signs. What's it like when something, pops in, or how to see. I know, Carrie, I do, but that's the thing is I just don't. I have enough, but I don't have enough that I think when I had more information for it, it'll make more sense. That's the thing is I don't want to give you something that just has tons more questions, and then you're just like, well, what about this or what about that, or I want to try to cut a lot of those other questions out, even for my own sake, being an investigator, of that sort of thing. So I try to eliminate as much as possible, so that way when the other questions come up, a lot of them will be answered, and then we'll create new ones. Um, so yeah. But I did, we'll talk real quickly, before we wrap up at 10:30, you know, signs, a couple times it's come up. And like I said, this kind of segues into, from like last weekend's reading. We are, um, there is so many times that we overlook things, we miss out on things. And I've always told you guys, I said, the easiest way to, you got to be open about things like, going outside and just sitting. Don't be listening to anything. Don't be reading anything. Just kind of either sit with your eyes closed, or even with your eyes open, and just kind of just observe things, listen to things, and that kind of helps bring in things a little bit more. So, in the sense of signs, us getting messages, whether it's something physical, whether it's something you just you hear, like a medium type of thing, because like the physical stuff, we miss out on it. The classic thing is, coins. People see coins all the time. Like there wasn't a coin there, few minutes ago or this morning, and now there is one there, and there shouldn't be one there. Well, why is that? There's a sign, there's a message being given to you. So like coins are great. You pick them up, you look at them, and go from there. The other stuff is even then sometimes just realizing that, again, a lot of my, schooling and stuff like that has been more Native American based. And I typically, will reflect on a lot of more native signs. And one of the big ones that I get a lot is when driving home, typically, because in the morning they're not. But one of the cool things is seeing legit hawks. And I'm not talking turkey vultures where you get a few of those big birds. That's not so much that, but but like red-tailed hawks is a really cool one. And sometimes we'll get Cooper's hawks and things, but the having it is always said that like if a hawk or eagle for that matter fly over you at a moment, whatever you were possibly thinking of relates, or maybe there's some type of information to either answer a question or provide you with something to help you moving. Now it's for you to catch it. Now most people just see a bird fly over and it's like, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean? But that's just the thing. You have to be aware of that stuff. And now not everybody is. We are on the go. We're always doing things. And so it's just the way it is. It's the way it is. And so we're so used to the fast pace of life that we're missing all this stuff. And if you stop to catch some of them, and granted, some of them you wouldn't even realize. Some of them you wouldn't really. That's awesome, Michelle. So you're probably thinking a lot, you might have a lot of cool things going on. Yeah. And and again, even just, like I said, that, that's animal life. And I'm just going to use animals. That could be any type of, anything other than a human being. Yeah, there you go, Del. Yeah, cardinals are huge. Now, like, it's funny. I posted, I sent some to some friends, and I had, the male and female cardinal in my yard, and they're like, "Oh, it's a message." I'm like, "See, that's the interesting is, no, that's not a message for me." Everybody says, "Well, you see cardinals come over, it's usually some type of loved one coming to visit." Not in my case. You would think, what are you talking about? No, no. The couple, the cardinal couple that I have around my house, that's because they live here. They truly live here. So they're here every single day. So those for that moment is not a message. And others obviously have that where they pop in and out of nowhere where you never ever see them, and all of a sudden now they're in your yard. Yes. I see them almost daily. So cardinals for me at my house Has nothing to do with the message from the other side. Nothing. I'm just blessed that I get to, witness them, as much as I do because I love cardinals. They're one of my other favorite, birds. Um, and so it's really so that's the thing is you have to know the difference, which is not easy at first, but again, another classic thing, and like I said, I don't want to run too much out of time. The uh, you know, let's say you had somebody that you loved that passed on, and music. Why does a certain song pop on? You know what I mean? Why is that? Why is a certain song that shouldn't be on pop on? And I've seen some people recently that were talking about that they were on a channel like on Spotify. There was no way that genre of music should have popped up on that channel, but it did. And it took them back to, the person that, passed that they were thinking about. And them just getting that message of probably saying, "Hey, I'm right here, just wanted to send you a little tune, And so it's the little things like that. And some people just ignore it, you know what I mean? But um let's see. I'm just looking at a couple people. Michelle, yep, yep, yep. Feathers. Yep, feathers are a good one. See, I have angels that visit me a lot, so I have indications of angels all the time. That's always amazing. Um, okay, yeah, there you go, Jamie. Yep, Dancing in the Sky came on TV. Yeah, I was trounced by the movie as a kid, but I always assume birds are out due to harm. Right. Well, and even then, Kelly, they always say if a bird poops on you, it's good luck because the chances are pretty rare. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Nicole, numbers. Yeah. I mean, hey, Stacy, good morning. Yeah. I mean, I've talked about the numbers before. Uh, Looking at the clock or looking at your watch, like you get this weird feeling like you got to look at the clock, time. Like on the show, how many times have I seen like 10:01? That's awesome, and so I'll look over and be like, holy smokes, and you have to have a driven feeling to look at the clock, not because it's like, oh, what time I got to get going. No, it's just that weird moment that you're sitting here going, I got to look at the clock. And you look at the clock and it's a number and it like, whoa. And if you look up the meanings to those numbers, whatever the sequence is, you'll realize that that's a message to you. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. And I do that daily with several people. And it's fun that that's all I do. I just we see the numbers, whether it's me, whether it's them. And it's kind of fun because and it's even better was that they're not all in the same chat. So a couple times I'll get both like two or three people sending me the same number sequence. And it's great because it's like everybody just get that notion at that point. And it's cool to have like a little friend. It's like a little group of friends, but they don't realize they're all in the, doing the same thing. So it's awesome. Yeah, that Michelle, that's awesome. Yep, 11:11, 1:11, perfect. Yep. Sandy saying it too. Yep, 11:11. Yep. Stacy, 9:11. I know, Stacy, you had that. That was awesome too. Yeah, Della. Yeah, anything. So you, if it's something, so like for me, if it's something that happens constantly, daily, or if those like the Blue Jays. I mean, are they just popping in and out once in a while, or are they there every single day? So once in a while, where you don't see them for days or weeks, and then all of a sudden now you see them, and then you don't see them again for days and weeks. Yeah, you're kind of onto something there. It's the rarity of some of the sightings. It's I have sparrows and blackbirds and robins and things that are there constantly. They're always in the yard, so it's not like any of them are dropping me a line. It's always the more rare birds or things that you don't see very often that'll show up and things. So but yeah, it's just it's finding the rarity of it, or like having an encounter with a larger animal, deer, something like having a deer in your yard when it's like, whoa, why is there a deer in my yard? I'm nowhere near anything like forest like that this should be looking at me. But yeah, and see, maybe that's it. Watches me and then leaves. Yeah, and that would be pretty classic message. They're there just to get your attention. Hey, whether you know what the message is, it doesn't matter. But they're getting your attention for some reason, especially if you're the one that's catching it. Obviously, if I never go to a window or feel drawn to go to the window to look outside at some point, because that's the thing too is I just have this feeling I got to go look out the window right now. Well, I'll go look out the window and we'll see what happens. We'll see. I don't know what's going to happen, but maybe there's something there that I need to know or learn, or maybe there's something legit. Maybe my guide's saying, hey man, something's wrong, you better go, take a look at this, that sort of thing too. So it's not, signs could be for whatever they need to be, but that's where it's just, you got to listen to your gut. If your gut's saying, go check something out or look at the clock, or you're drawn over to this part of your house or room or whatever, do it. You know what I mean? There's a reason for it. You just have to be open to see what it's going to tell you. Understanding it, that's a whole nother situation. But you can always hit me up like, hey, I felt like this, and, hit me up privately and we can talk about it, and I can help you discover it. It's just like when I do dream interpretations, I need as much of the details as it possibly can. And then I'm going to be sitting there asking you questions about, you. So that way we can see what the dream is telling you. So, yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, I know I was trying to zip through it as quickly as I could, but, like I said, the signs are, stuff that you do have to slow down for. You do have to take a few minutes out of your day to, realize that if you do catch something that's abnormal to your normal routine and it stops you, there's a reason for that. And that's why it's neat to see whatever it is, whether it's a song, whether it's a coin, whether it's, it could be a lot of things. It could be something moved, and it's not necessarily paranormal, because your loved ones can certainly do that stuff as well. You can have them. I mean, my guides used to mess with me when I forget to like talk to them every day and um uh, share, key, like just be thankful that they're still there, helping me out, protecting me, that sort of thing. They've done stuff where they'll take something of mine, and when I notice it, because again, I'm trying to be aware of it, and I see it, I'm like, oh crap. And I'm like, what did you guys do? And I'm looking around, and I'm like, okay, I know I didn't talk to you today. My bad. I'm sorry. Thank you for all that you do. Could you please put this said item back? And sure enough, I'll go away, and an hour or so later, the item is back. So that's where it gets into then, is figuring out who is, trying to get you a message. And again, that starts going a little bit deeper into, being a, really empathic, really knowing the energies that are around you, knowing who your guides are. Not necessarily that you have to know them, but know that the difference of the energies that are coming around. Because even then, like at my home, my door's not open to just everything to come in. That doesn't happen. My door is shut. When I want to do a reading, that door opens up. I bring in that said spirit. When they're done, I escort them back out, close the door, case closed. So I just don't have things, don't get me wrong. There's things outside that want to come in, but they ain't coming in because it's not going to happen. I won't let it. So that's the cool thing is, doing that. Let's see. Chad, what do you got? We think it is. Yeah, that's awesome, Chad. Good point, buddy. Good point. Della, this weekend, yes. But don't get me wrong. I mean, hit me up with, I mean, anybody can always message me. Just always know that, I'm pretty good about getting back to people. But it's rare that I mean, unless I'm really, really like hardcore swamped, that I can't reply in some way, but usually I'll at least give you something, hey, I'll usually tell you, remind me in like a couple days or hit me up on this day, because then I'll have more time, because in case I do forget, which can happen. I mean, I'm human too still. But it's the fact that, I mean, I'll have moments here and there that I can at least put a couple, sentences together and respond, or give you a couple little things, or a couple little, answer a couple little, whatever it is. I try to give everybody a little something, or at least acknowledge the fact that I did read it, I mean, other than just you seeing my icon, on the message, but try to, give an emoji, or at least say, okay, hey, I'll get back to you in a little bit. I've always tried to stress that. I mean, yeah, I do get busy, and this weekend technically was off limits to everything other than family. So because I wanted to, I want to be there for the kids' birthdays and everything. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Christopher? Thank you, sir. Yours is always lovely too. Good to see you, man. Hope you're having fun in the shoot. But yeah, yeah. Well, Della, no, Tuesday's still one more bad day. Tuesday's a bad day. Tuesday's my daughter's actual birthday. So after Tuesday, so starting Wednesday on, we can talk. I know that you know we could certainly, we'll see, as far as what's going on. Because I even know that possibly then that following Friday, and I know Saturday night is completely loaded, but it's all good. We'll figure it out. Like I said, just hit me up, and that's why we'll square things together. So but yeah, we're at 10:30, so that worked out pretty cool. So well, thank you, Kim. Yeah, and my son's is actually tomorrow. So I mean, this is usually what happens. The weekend that's the closest to the birthdays usually get the combined party, and then we're gonna do the combined party tomorrow, even though it's my son's actual birthday tomorrow, but then Tuesday is my daughter. So yes, I have both my kids are within a couple of days of each other, but they're 3 years apart. So uh, interesting timing for that stuff. But yeah, so this weekend's bad through Tuesday. Um, Other than that, but but Della, we'll have time, and Monday afternoon I'll be able to like do a little bit. We can chat a little bit or whatever, and go from there. So, but okay, cool, Kelly, cool. Yeah, man. Yeah. That sounds great. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. So I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be in cleaning and birthday mode now. After the show for the remainder of the weekend and through Tuesday. And then focus on the parade and things on Monday. So that's gonna be exciting. So yeah, I'll be back again next week. We shouldn't be missing anything until July, so we're still good. Hey Heather, yep, we'll see you. Bye. Hey Chris, good to see you. Yep, you're so welcome. And yeah, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna be back again. Yeah, like I said, we're not gonna have any miss any things. Since I'm way over, we'll go through. I got to make sure that I write down some of the upcoming events. I know I have a couple gallery readings coming up, and then one of them is open to the public, but you got to be in the Toledo area, which is technically the one that's on the June 4th on the evening, and then but it's just over the border in Temperance. Other than that, the other big event was at the Wild Winds Farm on the second weekend of July. Sorry, I don't have my calendar open, but I'm trying to do that where I hit some of the events. So if you guys are in the areas or you want to travel to them, you certainly can. So I'll make sure we get those set up so you guys can see that a little bit more. Because I have some other things that are in the works, and there's some other stuff coming up down the road that are way down the road, but they're just not here yet. So other than that, yeah, it's awesome. So again, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Hopefully, you got a couple things, and now you guys will be a little bit more aware, or at least be a little bit more open to see, if things are out of place, or if things pop in there that you didn't know were, or can confirm that weren't there before. Check that out. And yeah, and we'll do. And yeah, so it'll be cool. So all right, I'm out. I'm gonna go get ready to start cleaning this place up and get it it's ready to go, so that way tomorrow it's just hardly anything to do other than just have a party. So yeah, it'll be great. So thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome, as I say a million times, because it means a lot. And yeah, we'll be back. Watch for post. I mean, I'm still going to sneak some post in there, as I always do, especially when something's cool or I see a sunset or whatever. So always keep an eye out for that. Keep watching. And yeah, all right. So you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Thank you for all the birthday wishes for my kids. And again, definitely make sure you guys appreciate Monday, and thank a veteran if you haven't, if you're not around one, or if you are a veteran, thank you so much. And yeah, it means a lot. And I'll be in the parade and, helping the band out on Monday. So I'm excited about that. And do some birthday stuff and get back at it next week. So, all right. So thanks again. You guys are awesome. You guys have been watching the Mid-Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. Thank you so much for being here as always. And all my love, light, and peace to each and every single one of you. And I will see you again very, very soon. All right. Bye-bye.